Welcome to my channel Nanomeet. In this video, we will going to discuss the synthesis of the thyroid hormones in the thyroid follicle. Here you can see this is shown the diagram of a thyroid gland in which you can see there are various follicles, and these follicles are surrounded by the thyroid cells that are the cuboidal epithelial cells. Inside the thyroid cell, there is a colloid filled space. This colloid contains a glycoprotein called thyroglobulin. Now we are going to discuss how the synthesis of thyroid hormone occur in the colloid and then they are released into the blood. So in the next diagram we can see this is shown the thyroid cell, a single thyroid cell having the basal side in relation with the blood vessel and the apical side having some hormones and the channels. The channel for the chloride conversion is the pendrin, and the enzyme present here is an important enzyme, that is the peroxidase, also called as thyroid peroxidase, having an important function in organification, in coupling and in iodification of the thyroid hormone. So starting from the uptake of the iodine. The iodine that is coming from the blood, we take it from the diet. This iodine is in the form of iodide, that is a negative iodine ion. Through the sodium iodine symporter, it is transmitted inside the thyroid cell with the sodium ion. Now this iodide is in the form of iodide ion. It should be converted into the iodine. This conversion is being uptake by the peroxidase enzyme. The peroxidase enzyme present at the apical part of the thyroid cell is going to convert this iodide into the oxidized iodine. This conversion is called as the oxidification of iodine. Here you can see the first step is the oxidification of iodine, and this is under the action of the enzyme peroxidase. The iodide, that is a negative ion, is converted into the oxidized iodine. Now the next step is the combination of iodine with the thyroid globulin. Now first we have to know where is thyroid globulin coming. The thyroid globulin is produced inside the thyroid cell by the endoplasmic reticulum, and the Golgi apparatus of the thyroid cell produce the thyroglobulin precursor. That precursor moves toward the apical side of the thyroid cell and release the thyroglobulin molecule. This thyroglobulin molecule contains a chain of tyrosine amino acid. So this thyroglobulin molecule will going to combine with the oxidized iodine, and this combination and the iodification or organification of thyroglobulin is also under the action of the peroxidase enzyme. Now what happens if the two of them combines? They will produce the thyroid hormone. Now here in the next step we can see that this oxidized iodine that is produced from the iodification of the iodide is going to combine with the thyroglobulin molecule having a chain of tyrosine amino acid. In the presence of enzyme peroxidase, this will going to produce the thyroid hormones that are the T3 and T4. This unification of thyroglobulin. Now the next step is the coupling of the triiodo and monoiodothyronine. How this happens? When the thyroid globulin has been formed and there is a production of thyroid hormone, there will be coupling of one iodine with the thyroglobulin and one iodine combined with the one residue forming the monoiodothyronine. We can see in the next diagram. Guys, here you can see this is a tyrosine residue present in the thyroglobulin molecule. In the presence of peroxidase enzyme, the iodine combined with this tyrosine chain and form the monoiodotyrosine. When two iodine combine, it form the diiodotyrosine. When the monoiodotyrosine combine with the diiodotyrosine, there will be formation of the triiodothyronine, that is a T3. And if there are two molecules of the diiodothyronine combined, there will be formation of T4. In the diagram here you can see, if we form the monoiodotyrosine, combine it with the diiodo, there will be formation of triiodo. If we combine the diiodo with the diiodothyronine, there will be formation of thyroxine, that is a T4. And both these steps are presence of the enzyme peroxidase, and this is called as the coupling of the mono and the diiodothyronine to form the triiodothyronine, that is T3, and thyroxine, that is T4. Now at last what happens when we produce all these precursors of the thyroid gland? This thyroid gland in the form of thyroglobulin molecule being stored in the thyroid follicle and remain stored until it is needed. What happens when it is needed? When there is a need of thyroid gland, what happens? There will be pinocytosis of this follicle inside the thyroid cell, and it is being stored as a colloid droplet. There will be a proteases with the action of the lysozyme, and there will be a release of the free T3 and T4 into the cell into the it is secreted into the blood, and then it is released into the body. So this is the reverse T3, the T3 and the T4. They are the free thyroid hormones that are released in the blood. Also, they are showing that there will be a recycling of the tyrosine and the iodine by the deiodification step. So this was about the synthesis of the T3 and T4 that start from the uptake of iodine, then the conversion of iodide into the molecular iodine, then combining, that is the organification of thyroglobulin, and then there will be at last the coupling of the T3 and T4 and the formation of the thyroglobulin, and that thyroid hormone on the need there will be released into the blood and supplied to the glands. So this was all about. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. If you have any query, comment below.